Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough. Well, I made a bit of a promise to myself that I'd try to do more videos on this series, and I'm finally living up to that promise. Let's talk about the two-part finale to Kim Possible. Now, as far as Kim Possible goes, I've already done reviews of the TV movies, the Epcot attraction, and the PS2 game. So now we'll actually get to talk about straightforward episodes from the series. But before we look at the finale, let's talk a little bit about the season that it was aired in, Season 4. Like I mentioned in my review of the movies, So the Drama was originally meant to be the show's finale, seeing how the main focus was on Kim and Ron's relationship, with the movie ending on them finally getting together. For the creators, it was the logical conclusion for the series, since it was being built up all throughout the show. But the reason the show came back for one more season wasn't just because the studio wanted them to. This happened because the fans demanded another season. An online petition is what ultimately led to the push for a fourth season of this show, and the fans got what they wanted. Plus, Disney probably figured they had some potential left in the series before they moved on to their next big hit, Phineas and Ferb. Kim Possible did in fact get that fourth season, and boy howdy, did it start on a hell of an image.
KP, you're a synthodrome?
Enjoy that nightmare fuel, everybody! The only other thing that interests me about Season 4's background is how they had to work backwards to undo the supersuit from So the Drama. Everything else in this season's continuity was pretty good, most of the time. They managed to do new things, like we finally got to see Wade outside of his bedroom more often. Some characters got even more screen time, like Professor Dementor. They put more into costume design, specifically Kim getting more outfits than the usual green tank top and black spy shirt with cargo pants. But I find it funny that they had to rework this one thing. Basically, the supersuit was meant to make Kim untouchable against villains, which is why it was such a big deal in the climax of So the Drama, because the movie was meant to be the original finale. They didn't think they would have to bring it back. But once Season 4 started, they had to find a way to write it out. So their solution was to have it get stolen and then damaged and worn by guys more often than it was worn by Kim herself. But other than those few things, Season 4 of Kim Possible didn't really have the same level of contractual obligation or seasonal rot that some of the other shows I've talked about before suffered through. But with all that out of the way, let's see how this two-parter ended one of Disney's most popular TV shows.
And because it's another Kim Possible related video, I will be here as your friendly neighborhood fanboy to help you with this review, good sir.
Of course. Can't get through one of these reviews without one of these pointless tag-along characters.
I knew you wouldn't mind.
Anyway, this is the Kim Possible finale, Graduation. So we begin with a very familiar scenario, Kim and Ron heading over to stop some new evil scheme Dr. Draken is up to. All the while they talk about their upcoming high school graduation and its dress code.
You know you're supposed to wear pants underneath.
Well, who's gonna know?
Good use of a running gag, with Ron's pants always falling down.
Considering these two always seem to be traveling around with big, saggy MC Hammer parachute pants, it's no wonder Ron keeps losing them on missions. As for what Draken has planned this time, it's a formula that can create evil plant monsters.
Feed me Seymour. Feed me all night long.
No, nothing like that.
He's mutating.
This is new. He's a pansy?
I'd say marigold.
Wow, the origin story of Flowey from Undertale is a lot weirder than I thought it would be.
You realize we're actually leaving a lair intact for once?
Yeah, you know, I kinda missed the explosion.
After the intro, Kim's brothers are running off with some of her things.
This will come into play later.
And then Ron shows up at the Possible household, repping... what, an Ali G cosplay?
Actually, he says he's going to be wearing that at the graduation, but after Kim and her dad judge Ron's sense of fashion, he says that he'll try to find something else to wear instead.
Later, Ron goes to his job at the Smarty Mart and comes across good old Principal Barkin, who seems to have a side hustle here as well. And thus begins a reoccurring motif for the first half of this finale. Every time characters bring up how the end is near or change is on the horizon, it's almost like they're trying to make some kind of meta-commentary about the show ending.
Nothing lasts forever, stoppable. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold.
If you wish to turn this kind of thing into a drinking game, just be warned. You won't last before the second half of this episode.
Oh man, even watching this all these years later, still gets me here.
Meanwhile, with Kim's dad and some of his golf friends, they notice a strange crop circle-like formation on the course. Gee, crop circles? Kind of like what space aliens are known for? Could it possibly be those space aliens that they had earlier in the season?
Spoiler alert.
This episode came out in 2007. That is not a spoiler. And just to add to Ron's anxiety of the future, Kim seems to have gotten a ton of college acceptance letters in the mail.
You get it? Because she's smart. And pretty. And popular. Because she's Kim Possible, and she can do anything.
It seems not even Buenos Nacho can bring Ron out of his funk, but Kim, being the supportive friend and girlfriend she is, reassures him that they'll always have each other, even after high school.
It's just graduation. It's not the end of the world.
How sure?
Be sure.
Aww.
After Uncle Slim stops by to visit and revealing what the twins were doing with Kim's stuff,
Now we can watch Kim on her dates with Ron.
Kim finally notices all the crop circle thingies popping up all around the world and deduces it must be Duff Killigan. With one connection being golf courses, they fly all the way to Scotland, based entirely on a hunch. And guess what? They were wrong. It wasn't even Killigan.
So, you two still...
Dating? Yeah.
Really? Sure the lass isn't tired of your pants-losing antics by now?
Even the villains are supportive of their relationship, in their own quirky, evil kind of way.
As they head home on a commercial airline Wade happened to set up for them, they notice that Kim is all over the cover of People, or Humans magazine.
My graduation is a cover story?
See? See? I'm already out of the picture!
Considering Kim has been doing this for years and has saved the world on multiple occasions, and even people at her school seem to know that she goes on missions regularly, it's about time that the press finally recognize this girl for the icon she truly is.
We see Kim, Ron, and the other school kids on their last day of high school.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
So long, Middleton High.
See? So not the end of the world.
You okay there?
I know this came out many years ago. I know I've watched this finale more than once. But dang it, it's still getting me in the feels, man.
That night, we get a montage of our main duo suiting up for the night of their graduation. Back with the villains, Draken can't seem to shake his flower transformation, all the while Shigo mocks his current state. But things soon turn south as they notice a strange red light flashing outside, and Draken gets beamed into the sky. As the Possibles head out for the evening, Kim's dad gets a call from one of his co-workers, but the call gets cut off. And as soon as they leave... Whoa! The hell was that?
Oh, that's just the start of it. Wait until we actually get to the graduation ceremony.
Ah! Sensei?
Stoppable, son.
Oh no. You know, you never pop in like this with good news.
Indeed. There have been disturbing signs. I sense you will soon face your greatest challenge.
Oh, tell me about it.
Foreshadowing! It's time for the big event, but once Kim gets on stage, she gets beamed up into the sky by that same eerie green light that took Draken away earlier.
People! It's the end of the world!
Oh, am I the only one who saw this coming?
Wow, that was a pretty gnarly cliffhanger to end part 1 on.
Yep, so let's see the exciting conclusion in part 2.
After a recap, the second half begins with Kim and Draken both being brought aboard the ship, and they come face to face with their captors, and what a shock! It's the warlordian alien Warmanga and her new companion, Warhawk. Their plan is to invade and take over the Earth, all because Warmanga is still upset that Draken broke up with her. After seeing everybody try to pull themselves together after the mass destruction going on, Barkin clearly not holding it together all that well, Ron sacks up and says he's going up into space to save Kim. Meanwhile, Kim and Draken are put into confinement with a giant laser pointed at them both.
You were a worthy foe. You were indeed all that.
Considering what Draken said about Kim in So the Drama,
Okay, maybe she is all that.
it's all come full circle.
And with the combined power of Kim's acrobatics and Draken's new flower power, they take out the laser beam. Back on Earth, Ron, Kim's dad, and even Shigo make it to the space station and plan to launch up into space and help save the day.
Sometimes it takes something like this to bring hero and villain together to work for the common good.
This happened to you before?
No, heavens no. But in college, I wrote a Captain Constellation fanfic with a very similar scenario.
Why am I always surrounded by geeks?
I don't know what it is, but something about hearing the word fanfic in this show tickles me pink. I like it. But, oh SpaghettiOs, Shigo takes Dr. Possible's spacesuit and takes over the mission, and we get a pretty good conversation between Ron and Shigo.
You went from hero to villain. That must have been like an epic change.
Okay, why are you still talking?
I mean, you're on a new path with no idea what comes next. I mean, wasn't that kind of scary?
Hey, Ron's referencing Shigo's past and how she used to be a superheroine before she turned to evil and started working with Dr. Draken. Great continuity!
KP!
Ron!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about time you got here.
Yeah, I've got a lot on my plate now.
I ship it.
Really? Even after they said this in the 20th anniversary script reading?
Yeah, no. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just say it did not work out.
Yeah, I still ship them.
If I were an off-switch, where would I be?
Oh, this is highly advanced alien technology. It's not going to be as simple as finding an off switch.
Well, I mean, it is the same alien spacecraft that has a garbage hatch on it. The fact that this thing is powered by a giant on-off switch, probably should have seen that one coming.
What is he expecting, a big on-off switch?
You!
And you must be Mr. Warmanga.
She is the blue imposter's battlemate.
Whoa, time out. Yeah, the two teens are a thing, but there is nothing going on with me and Dr. D.
Nothing?
Nothing!
Yes, more shipping fuel! This is easily one of the best parts of this finale. We know these two duos are enemies, we know they all have a history, but now it's pretty neat to see them all have to work together. We've gotten moments like this before in episodes like the Christmas Special and Bad Boy, as well as some other media like What's the Switch, but it's pretty neat to see the heroes and villains all come together, put their petty differences aside, and work together to save the day.
You know, it's kind of like when, I don't know, Powerpuff Girls and Mojo Jojo had to work together. I was waiting for the Powerpuff fanboy to show up right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Complain. You know, when life gives you lemons...
I complain about the lemons!
So they land on Earth. I can't tell if that's supposed to be, like, downtown Middleton or if that's some other part of the world. After some more emotional reassurance between Kim and Ron, everybody regroups and Draken successfully takes down the bad guy's knockoff tripods with his flower power. But that's not enough to stop them. What we need is to bring back that monkey ninjutsu power Ron has that they built up near the end of part 1. I know they needed to wrap up that story arc for Ron, and it's not done horribly here, but out of everything in this finale, it does feel a little bit rushed. So the two head back to complete their graduation ceremony. Kim pulls the puppy dog pout on Shigo, and they graduate. Everyone seems to be paired up with somebody,
including even more Draken X Shigo shipping fuel.
Everyone rocks out at the after party, and it ends with these two crazy kids peeling on out into the night.
Told you graduation wasn't the end of the world.
And if you stay during the credits, you get a pretty funny scene with Dementor and Draken talking over coffee, and they finally reveal how Draken became blue. Kind of.
Okay. Why the blue skin? Glad you asked. Funny story. Not funny, haha, but it was a Tuesday.
That was the Kim Possible finale graduation, and all these years later, it really holds up. This did exactly what a finale should do. It gave plenty of time to showcase the characters one more time before the show ends. They found a way to loop it all back around to Kim and Ron's relationship and what the future could potentially hold, and it used a lot of the show's key staples to really good effect. The animation, the characters, the writing, the humor, and especially the action. One of my favorite things about this show will always be the really well done fight scenes, and this two-parter is no exception. While I still prefer So the Drama just a little bit more, this felt like the next logical step to pull off a finale to a show like this. Good guys and bad guys have to come together to defeat some kind of mutual enemy. The characters have finally reached adulthood and move on from high school, and these two are off to continue saving the world and loving every minute with each other. And many, many years after the show had ended, we got the 2019 live-action movie, which admittedly had a cute teaser that featured the two main voice actors reprising their roles.
Make my life sound like cake.
Well, let's see. You're smart, athletic, pretty, and popular. Sounds pretty cakey to me.
It must be brutal being you.
We'll try the demands of raising Rufus as a single parent.
But more importantly, we got Christy Carlson Romano's pretty awesome little YouTube channel, where she posts a lot of fun cooking videos, Kim Possible related stuff, and her voice acting podcast with Will Friedle. And hey, like we mentioned earlier, this channel did a pretty good 20th anniversary to the show. They brought back a lot of the casting crew and everything. If you haven't seen this video already, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun.
So what you're saying is, you liked it.
Yes, buddy. I thought it was spankin'.
Hey, glad to hear it.
So now what do we do?
Well, since me and the other fanboys are currently visiting this world for a while, I guess we're just gonna try and move on to some other reviewer people and see if we can get them to talk about our favorite shows. Currently, I'm trying to see if I can get this one guy from a show called TV Trash to do another Kim Possible related video.
Okay, yeah, you do that. Yeah, that's certainly a thing he's gonna do. Rowdy, if you get this message, I just want to let you know there's a fanboy from Planet Goofball making his way to your place. He's probably going to try and force you to do another Kim Possible related video. I just wanted to let you know in advance. Be very afraid.
Not going to be as simple as finding an off switch.
Ooh, I know a perfect clip to use for this scene.
Someone shut off the master power switch.
What? How many times have I told you? No master power switch.
You were just waiting to pop up to make a Teenage Robot reference in this video, weren't you?
Yep.